to help get these principles embedded into the life of not just the pastor, but the staff and the elders and the life of the church. So we want to do anything we can to serve you, to make what you've heard already today and what you will hear today real in your church. Also want to invite you to one more event. This is a great time and wonderful. We call it the Big Enchiladas, coming up in Las Vegas in October. I think we have a slide on that. And this will be our national conference. You'll recognize a number of the leaders who will be a part of that as it comes up, I believe, any minute now, maybe not. But it is called the Stand Firm Conference. And in this case, what happens in Vegas won't stay in Vegas, okay? It's designed to go outside of Vegas. But you'll recognize some of these leaders: Vance Pittman, our host pastor, Charlie Dates, Mark Jobes, the new president of the Moody Bible Institute. Then you know Crawford LaRich and John O., I call him because I always mess his name up. Robbie Simons. What's unique about that conference, in every main session will have experiences of scripture-fed, spirit-led, worship-based prayer in every session. How do you pray what you just heard being preached? There will be a number of workshops for men, women, couples, and it will be a great time. So we have a discount today. I've got it on my phone here, and I think it's DOR19, just because you're here. How about that? That means, I think it's 2 for 1. So if you've been thinking about signing up, haven't done it, this is your lucky day. We have a deal for you, right? So the code is DOR19, Day of Renewal 19, and my staff says that'll be active for, I think, another 24 hours or 48 hours or so. So we'd love to see you there. Bring a team and experience what you've tasted today, but kind of on steroids for a couple of days in Las Vegas and that. All right? So I'm very excited today to hear from leaders who are in the trenches of prayer in their local church. And it would be really wonderful to have Pastor Simbel to talk about his journey at the Brooklyn Tabernacle and how they've done that. But he and I were talking last night. I probably hosted maybe 1,200 leaders in different days at the Brooklyn Tabernacle, and I'm a Brooklyn Tabernacle fanatic, junkie, whatever. But you know, the thing is, you go to Brooklyn Tab, and it's like the Disney World of prayer. And then you come home and you got a pogo stick, you know, and you're trying to figure out how do I make that work. So what you're going to hear today is guys who are bridging that gap between Disney World and the pogo stick, trying to see how prayer can be realized in the life of the church, and I know it's going to be a great encouragement to you. The moderator is my brother Dennis, who you met earlier. He is significantly older than I am. I won't mention the years, but he's still got breath in his lungs, so I'm glad for that. But Dennis will tell you about his ministry, Fusion Bible Church, Durant, Oklahoma, and the other wonderful pastors, friends of mine, who again are on the journey. They're just going to share the bumps, the bruises, the good news, the victories, the defeats. And after they share a little while, we're going to open this up to you in the audience, so you may have some questions as well. When this wraps up, I'll be leading us in a final time. You've already heard it several times. Scripture-fed, spirit-led, worship-based prayer before we break for the afternoon, and we will look forward to that time together. And so I want to turn it over to my dear buddy, Dennis Anderson. Would you welcome Dennis and the gang up here?
All right, thank you. I did change his diapers, so I just want you to know that. I saw things that you'd never see. And so, anyway, I am his older brother, so need a little respect there, please. And I've kind of walked in the shadow of Daniel for 20 years now. I remember our first conference we did in California, and I was we always called it the Mary and Martha show, because he was Mary, and if you remember the story, he was at the feet of Jesus, and I was Martha, always busy, and always working. And so I remember when he first tried to tell me about prayer, I said, you pray and I'll work. How's that? And, but over the years, it's rubbed off, and I've been able to, probably in the last 20 years, how many churches? 3 churches, I guess, I've been in that we've been able to establish prayer culture. I'm in Durant, Oklahoma. Everybody been to Durant? Raise your hand. Have you? Were you guys at the casino? Caught you, didn't I? All right. That's the only thing Durant's known for is the Choctaw Casino. But anyway, I will start the church. We planted a church there. It'll be 6 years in October. Started with about 35 adults in a school, and we moved into a new $6 million building last summer. God's blessed us. Probably this fall we'll be running 800 people where we are. But we're fortunate to start with prayer. So we've always had prayer from the first service on. And in our culture, we're a long ways from where we want to be, but from day one, we've told our people we're going to pray. And I think that's one of the marks that will leave a legacy there. But we want to talk about today the guys that are in it. And you'll realize that we're not talking about something you add, like a prayer service, but something you put into your church, a culture. And we've said it many times, it's never a microwave, it's a crock pot. And it's going to take a while to get that traction going. And these guys have been through coaching, except Kenny. Kenny, you didn't go through the coaching, did you? Kenny started about 10 years ago, right here, at the first conference in Katy, wasn't that? And is that where we were? I can't remember. Somewhere in Houston. And that's where we met the first time. If you go on our website to 6'4", there's a couple of good videos of Kenny. And I remember tell him about how God changed his heart. So, exactly. So I'll let these guys real quickly introduce themselves, and then I'm going to ask them a few questions. At the end of that, you might be thinking along some of the questions you might want to ask, and we're going to field them and try to answer them for you. All right? Ben's down at the end. Ben Shank, over in Round Rock, Texas. Most of these three of these guys are right in the Austin area and close by each other, so you should connect from this day on. All right? Tell us a little about you, Ben. What's your journey, and then we'll get to some questions. All right?
Thanks. So my journey, just a little bit of background with me. I was actually an Army officer, spent 5 years in, and I was saved later on in life, saved when I was a captain in the military, and so very much a type A driven planner. So when my wife led me to the Lord and ended up getting out, I found myself as a pastor, and then began to plant a church in the suburb of Austin, Texas. And so, yeah, go Austin. And so we planted in September 2016, so we're not even a year old. And so I feel like I don't have a whole lot of wisdom to offer, but maybe some war stories of what not to do. But we launched in September 2016. Started out really, really strong, saw God do some incredible things. And then took a roller coaster journey, as most church plants do. And so how I got connected with the 6'4" ministry was pretty incredible. We actually met Daniel at an exponential conference, and being the Army officer that I was, I went into exponential looking at where can I find leadership training and where can I find the next plans, for the church. And of course, being the spiritual giant that I was, my wife was like, "How about we check out prayer first, Ben?" So our first session, I was like, "Okay, we'll go check it out." And immediately changed the course and direction of not just our own personal life, but also the journey of our church. And so I'm excited to be on the journey and excited to hopefully share a little bit more with you guys.
Great. All right. Right next to him is Chris Tapkin, and you're right around the area there in Lake Travis.
Yeah.
And if you guys know Austin, tell us a little about what you're doing.
In Lakeway, I'm with a church, Austin Christian Fellowship in Austin. The church is 25 years old, founded by local Austinite Will Davis.